This is the smart 5G Max Turbo Wi-Fi. And while most people just plug it in and go, there's actually a lot more you can do. In this video, we're uncovering some of its best-kept secrets. From parental controls, signal optimization, and mesh support, to advanced settings that can boost your speed, improve stability, and give you more control over your connection. Let's get started, and trust me, some of these settings most users never touch. But they make a big difference. Right off the bat, this smart 5G Max Turbo Wi-Fi hits over 330 megabits per second download and 42 megabits per second upload. No cables, no technician, just a SIM and a good signal. To access the full settings, just connect to the Wi-Fi and open any browser. Then go to 192.168.1.1. That's the default gateway for this router. For the login, both the username and password are Smart Wi-Fi, all lowercase, no spaces. Once you're logged in, the dashboard gives you a full overview of your connection. At the top, you'll see your current signal strength, including 5G and 4G indicators, so you know what network you're connected to. Right below that, there's a toggle to disable mobile data. And you might be wondering, why would anyone want to turn that off? Well, disabling mobile data is useful if you want to save SIM load when you're not using the internet. Prevent auto updates or background devices from eating your data. Or if you just want to force the router to idle while troubleshooting. But for normal use, make sure mobile data stays on. Otherwise, you won't have any internet at all. Next, let's talk about one of the most underrated tools in the settings, the Optimize Location feature. This tool helps you find the best spot in your home for stronger signal and better speeds. When you tap on it, the router will scan for nearby towers and check signal strength for 5G and 4G. It will then show you signal levels, usually in bars or dBm values, and recommend if you need to move the device. Quick tip: place your router near a window or open area, away from thick walls or appliances. A few centimeters of movement can make a big difference in signal quality. If you're getting unstable speeds or frequent switching between 4G and 5G, this tool can help you lock in the best position for consistent performance. Next, let's take a look at the Mesh Network feature, a powerful option if you want to extend your Wi-Fi coverage across a larger space. When mesh mode is enabled, this router can connect with other compatible mesh devices to create a seamless whole-home Wi-Fi system. That means no dead zones and no need to manually switch between different networks as you move around your house. Your devices will always connect to the strongest signal automatically. But here's the thing: to make mesh work properly, you need to pair this with another compatible mesh router. And if you're planning to buy one, I recommend choosing a Wi-Fi 6 mesh system. It's faster, more stable, and can handle more connected devices with lower latency. For small rooms or boarding houses, mesh may not be necessary. But if you have a multi-floor home, thick walls, or you plan to share your Wi-Fi with multiple users across rooms, a Wi-Fi 6 mesh system is definitely worth considering. Now let's move on to the Network Settings tab, where you'll find controls that affect how your router connects to mobile data. The first option is mobile data, which we've already discussed earlier. Just make sure it's turned on for internet access unless you're troubleshooting or conserving data. Next is data roaming. This is usually turned off by default. You only need to enable this if your SIM is roaming outside its normal network area, like if you're near a border or using the SIM in another region or country. For most users, especially within the Philippines, it's best to keep this disabled to avoid unwanted charges or connection issues. Another important feature under mobile network settings is network selection, where you can choose between auto or manual search modes. By default, it's set to automatic, which means the router will connect to the strongest available smart network, whether that's 5G or 4G, without user input. But when you switch to manual, the router scans all available networks nearby and gives you a list to choose from, like Smart LTE, Smart 5G. Then we have MTU size, or maximum transmission unit. This controls the size of data packets sent over the network. By default, it's usually set to around 1400 to 1500, which works fine for most users. If you're experiencing lag in games or video calls, you can experiment by lowering the MTU slightly, like to 1420 or 1380, to see if it stabilizes the connection. But if everything is working fine, it's best to leave this setting alone. Next, we move into the Ethernet settings. This is where you control how the router behaves when a LAN cable is plugged into the Ethernet port. Under connection mode, you'll find several options. Auto, this is the default. It lets the router use mobile data, but if a wired internet source is detected, it will switch to that automatically. LAN only. Disables mobile data entirely and uses wired internet only. Ideal if you're using fiber or DSL. PPPoE plus dynamic IP. PPPoE, dynamic IP and static IP are options for more advanced setups, like connecting this router to another modem or network. If you choose PPPoE, two fields will appear. Username, password. These are credentials provided by your internet provider, usually fiber or DSL, like PLDT, Converge or Globe. Without those, PPPoE won't work. For example, if you're connecting this router to a PLDT fiber modem in bridge mode, you'll need to enter your PPPoE username and password here to authenticate the connection. Pushpin quick tip. If you're just using this device with a smart SIM and no LAN cable, you can leave this setting on auto. No need to change anything. Now let's explore the Wi-Fi settings, where you can manage how your network is broadcast and who can access it. Wi-Fi basic settings. Under Wi-Fi basic settings you'll find these options. 5 GHz preferred. Enabling this lets the router prioritize the faster 5 GHz band if your device supports it. Wi-Fi on-off toggle. This controls whether your wireless signal is active or disabled. Wi-Fi name. This is the network name or SSID that appears when people scan for Wi-Fi. You can customize this to anything you like. Security mode. Typically set to WPA2 or WPA3 for strong protection. Wi-Fi password. Make sure to set a strong, unique password to protect your network. After editing, don't forget to press save. Tip. For better speed and range, place the router in an open area, not inside drawers or corners. Next, we have the guest Wi-Fi section, a handy feature that allows visitors to connect to your Wi-Fi without giving them access to your main network. By default, guest Wi-Fi is turned off. Once enabled, you can set a time limit for how long the guest connection stays active. Duration options include unlimited. The guest network stays on until you manually turn it off. 1 day, automatically disables after 24 hours. 4 hours, good for short visits or meetings. You can also set a custom Wi-Fi name and a Wi-Fi password for guest access. The security is always encrypted, and this setting can't be changed for safety reasons. Tip. Use guest Wi-Fi to avoid sharing your main password, especially in cafes, boarding houses or events. It's also great for limiting access time automatically. Now let's go to the Devices tab. This is where you can monitor everything connected to your Wi-Fi network in real time. At the top of this section there's a small toggle or filter button. When pressed, it lets you switch between viewing online and offline devices. Below that you'll see a list of devices currently connected. For example, you can see your own phone's name displayed here, showing that it's online and actively using the network. Tip. Each device entry usually shows the device name, IP address, and the amount of data being used, helpful if you want to track usage or identify unknown devices. If you notice any unfamiliar devices, most routers also give you the option to block or limit access. A useful feature for network security. Moving on to the Tools tab. Here you'll find utilities that add extra control and functionality to your smart 5G Turbo Max Wi-Fi. First is the SMS tool. This is where you can manage your SIM card's text messages. Under SMS conversation you can view messages just like a regular inbox. Under SMS settings you'll find options like Enable Delivery Report, which lets you confirm if a message was received. Import SMS from SIM card, so old messages stored in your SIM can be read inside the dashboard. Tip. You can use this to check promo confirmations, data balance notifications and network alerts, without removing the SIM. Parental Control, a powerful feature. One of the best features under Tools is Parental Control, especially the Internet Access Control function. With this, you can manage what time specific devices can access the internet. Want to block internet access on your child's tablet after 9 p.m.? Or make sure study hours aren't interrupted by social media? You can set allowed hours for each connected device individually. Why it's a big deal? This feature turns your router into a digital guardian. No extra apps. No need to take devices away, just tap, set, and control. Next, let's head into the advanced Wi-Fi settings. where you can customize how your smart 5G Turbo Max handles both 2.4 GHz and 5 GHz bands. 2.4 GHz settings. For the 2.4 GHz band, you'll see the following options. 802.11 mode. This lets you select Wi-Fi standards like B/G/N. Keeping it on auto ensures the best compatibility with older devices. Next is bandwidth. Choose between 20 MHz or 40 MHz. For longer range and better stability, 20 MHz is ideal. For slightly faster speeds within short range, 40 MHz works better. Next is channel. Manually setting the Wi-Fi channel can help avoid interference, especially in crowded areas. For 2.4 GHz, try channels 1, 6, or 11. Use night settings. This option allows you to reduce Wi-Fi activity during certain hours, useful if you want to save power while sleeping. 5 GHz settings. The 5 GHz band also gives you options to optimize speed and stability. 802.11 mode. Usually set to A/N/AC/AX, allowing for higher speed connections. Leave this on auto for best results. Next is bandwidth. Wider bandwidth like 80 MHz or even 160 MHz provides faster speeds, but make sure your devices support it. Next is channel. Manual channel selection can help if there's signal interference. Try channels with fewer users nearby. Now let's explore the Wi-Fi security settings on the Smart 5G Max Turbo router. 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi section. In this section we can see the available 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi networks. The active network here is named Smart_Wi-Fi_82EB_EN. It is currently enabled and uses WPA2PSK as the security mode, a secure and widely recommended option for home networks. Below that, there is a second 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi network with a different name, currently disabled. You can activate it if you want a second SSID for guests or specific devices. The security mode for both is set to WPA2PSK, which means only users with the correct password can access your Wi-Fi. 5 GHz Wi-Fi. Under the 5 GHz Wi-Fi section, we also see a single network named Smart_Wi-Fi_82EB_5GHC_. It is currently disabled but can be activated and configured the same way. This band is ideal for faster speeds and less interference, especially in crowded areas. Important tips. For the best experience, use the 5 GHz network for gaming, streaming, or high-speed downloads. Why your phone might not see the 5 GHz network. If your phone or device only detects the 2.4 GHz band, it may be because of one of these reasons. Your phone does not support 5 GHz Wi-Fi. Older or budget phones may only detect 2.4 GHz. The 5 GHz signal range is shorter. Try moving closer to the router to see if the signal appears. Your Wi-Fi name for the 5 GHz band might be the same as 2.4 GHz. To avoid confusion, rename it differently, for example, Smart_Wi-Fi_5G 5 GHz. Final tips. If your phone supports 5 GHz but still can't see the signal, restart the router after enabling the 5 GHz band. Also, check that your Wi-Fi settings are saved correctly and not hidden. Once working, the 5 GHz band gives you faster speeds and better performance, especially for gaming and video streaming. Now let's move on to the Wi-Fi MAC filter section. MAC stands for Media Access Control. Every device that connects to your Wi-Fi, like phones, tablets, or laptops, has a unique MAC address. What the MAC filter does. The Wi-Fi MAC filter allows you to control which devices are allowed or blocked from connecting to your network. It works like a VIP list or a blacklist depending on how you set it. How to use it. To access it, go to the left side menu and click on Wi-Fi MAC filter. You will see two main options. Allow only listed MAC addresses or block listed MAC addresses. Allow only means only the devices you manually add can connect, everyone else is blocked. Block listed means all devices can connect except for the ones you list here. How to add a device. To add a device, click the add or plus icon, then enter the MAC address of the device. You can usually find the MAC address in your phone's Wi-Fi settings, or on a sticker under your device. Once added, hit save and the filter will be applied. Reminder: be careful with this setting. If you use the allow only mode and forget to add your own phone or computer, you may lock yourself out of the network. If that happens, reset the router to factory settings to regain access. Next, let's explore the Wi-Fi WPS settings, also known as Wi-Fi Protected Setup. This feature allows devices to connect to your Wi-Fi network quickly and securely without typing the password. There are 3 connection methods available in this router. First, the most common push-button configuration. Just press the WPS button on the router, then press the WPS button on your phone, printer, or other device. They'll connect automatically without needing a password. Second, the PIN method from another device. In this method, your device, like a printer or smart TV, generates a WPS PIN code. You then enter that code into the router's WPS settings and press Connect to pair them. Third, the router-generated WPS PIN. This router shows you an 8-digit PIN code here in the WPS section. You can enter that PIN into a device that supports WPS PIN mode to connect instantly. WPS is very useful for connecting older devices or smart home gadgets that don't have full keyboards or screen input. Security tip. While convenient, it's best to turn off WPS after setup, especially the PIN method, as it may be vulnerable to brute force attacks. Around 2 minutes and 15 seconds into this video, we previously discussed the mesh device feature. This allows you to connect multiple Wi-Fi units together, creating a seamless mesh network. With a mesh system, your device automatically connects to the strongest signal as you move around your home, ensuring faster speed, stronger signal, and 0 dead zones. When purchasing a mesh system, it's highly recommended to choose a model that supports Wi-Fi 6 for better performance and future compatibility. Device updates. Next is the update section. Here you can check if your smart 5G Max Turbo Wi-Fi device has a firmware update available. Just tap Check for updates, and if one is available, click Update Now. Keeping your router updated ensures better security, faster performance, and access to the latest features. Or turn on the overnight update. Automatically update overnight. Now let's head to the router tab. Starting with DHCP settings, this is where the router manages the IP addresses given to each connected device. LAN IP address. This is your router's internal IP, used to access the dashboard. Usually it's something like 192.168.1.1. CP server. When enabled, the router automatically assigns IP addresses to all devices connected to your network. CP/IP range. This defines the range of IP addresses that the router can assign. For example, from 192.168.1.100 to 192.168.1.200. Key release time. This sets how long a device can keep its assigned IP before needing to renew. A longer lease time is good for fewer disconnections. Once all settings are adjusted, don't forget to click Save. IP and MAC address binding. Below DHCP you'll find IP and MAC binding. This allows you to lock a specific IP address to a specific device using its MAC address. It's especially useful for parental control, port forwarding, or keeping track of known devices. Once set, that device will always get the same IP from the router. Next is bridge mode. When enabled, bridge mode disables the router's NAT and DHCP functions, allowing the device to act as a pure modem. This is useful when you want to connect the smart Wi-Fi to another router or mesh system that will handle the network management. In bridge mode, Wi-Fi and routing functions are turned off, and your internet connection is passed directly through to the other router or system. Important. Only enable bridge mode if you fully understand your network setup. Most home users should leave this disabled unless integrating with advanced systems. Next is the VPN section, which allows you to connect the router to a virtual private network, providing additional privacy and remote access. The settings include the following. Connection type. Choose the type of VPN. Most routers support L2TP, PPTP, or OpenVPN depending on your provider. DNS address. This is the VPN server IP address or domain name provided by your VPN service. Hostname. If required, this is where you enter a specific host server assigned by your VPN provider. Tunnel password. The password used to secure the VPN tunnel, also provided by your VPN provider. Handshake interval. This sets how often the router checks in with the VPN server. The default value is usually fine. PPP username. The username for VPN login, usually linked to your VPN account. PPP password. The corresponding password for the VPN account. Authentication. Choose the method of authentication such as CHAP, PAP, or Auto depending on your VPN setup. Once everything is filled in, click Save to apply the VPN connection. Let's move to one of the most important parts of the setup, the security settings. This is where you take control of privacy, protection, and device access on your Wi-Fi network. Firewall settings. In this section you'll find Enable Firewall Main Switch. Turn this on to activate the router's built-in firewall. This feature filters incoming and outgoing internet traffic, helping to protect your network from potential threats. Enable IP address filter. This allows you to block or allow specific IP addresses, giving you more control over external connections. Disable WAN port ping. Turning this on makes your router invisible to outsiders who try to ping your public IP, adding another layer of security. Enable domain filter. This is where you can block access to specific websites or types of content like adult sites or cryptocurrency domains directly from your router. To block common adult content, enter the following keywords or domains. Just input each keyword or domain one at a time into the domain filter list and save. You can always remove or add more later. Pro tip: this works best when paired with custom DNS settings, like Cloudflare Family DNS or Clean Browsing DNS. DNS-based blocking. If your Wi-Fi is on dynamic IP mode, you can manually change your DNS settings. These DNS services automatically block adult content, gambling, and malware sites at the network level. MAC address filter. Now let's talk about MAC filtering. This gives you control over which devices are allowed or denied access to your Wi-Fi. You can choose Allow mode, only the listed MAC addresses can connect. Deny mode, all can connect except those listed. Just press Add, enter the MAC address and click Save. This is great for blocking unknown devices, limiting guests, or managing kids' gadgets. Warning: don't accidentally block your own device. Now let's move on to the IP address filter under the security settings. This feature allows you to control which devices can access the internet through your Wi-Fi based on their IP address. Allow only the IP addresses you add, or block only the IP addresses you list. Then enter the start IP and end IP. If you're targeting a single device, just enter the same IP in both fields. You can also choose the protocol type TCP, UDP, or both, and optionally specify the port range for advanced filtering. Once you're done, just hit Save. This is especially helpful if you want to limit internet access to specific devices or block unwanted users. Next is the virtual server setting, sometimes called port forwarding. This feature is used to make devices or services inside your network accessible from the internet, like a CCTV, game server, or remote desktop. And remember, only use this feature if you understand the security risks, since it opens a path to your local network from the internet. Now let's look at the Special Applications tab, also known as Trigger Port Settings. This feature is used for applications or games that require dynamic port forwarding. When a certain outgoing port is triggered, the router temporarily opens incoming ports. To set it up, first, enable Special Applications. Enter the trigger port. This is the port your app or game uses to send data. Choose the trigger protocol TCP, UDP, or both. Then enter the open port range. These are the ports that will open automatically. Select the open protocol. Optionally, add a description for easy reference. Then click Save. This is often used for online games, video conferencing, or certain VPNs. Only use this if your app specifically requires it or if you're troubleshooting connectivity issues. DMZ stands for Demilitarized Zone. When enabled, it exposes one device to the internet for unrestricted access. Useful for gaming consoles or security cameras. But be careful, it lowers firewall protection for that device. Next is SIP-ALG. SIP-ALG stands for Session Initiation Protocol Application Layer Gateway. It's meant to help VoIP services like voice calls or video chats. But in many cases it causes connection issues. If your calls keep dropping or lagging, try turning SIP-ALG off. Then UPnB. Universal Plug and Play allows devices like game consoles, smart TVs, and IP cameras to open ports automatically for smooth communication. UPnP is convenient but can be risky. If security is your priority, consider turning it off when not needed. Lastly, NAT settings. NAT, or Network Address Translation, manages how your router assigns IP addresses. Some routers let you choose between strict NA, safest but may block online features, moderate and more balanced. Open any best for gaming but less secure. The domain filter tab appears again here, but we've already covered this earlier under the firewall settings. As a reminder, the domain filter allows you to block access to specific websites or domains like adult content or gambling sites using keywords or full URLs. If you've already added your filters earlier, there's no need to repeat them here. Let's move on to the next setting. System tab, your command center for maintaining and managing your smart 5G Turbo Wi-Fi. Device information. This displays your router's basic info model, software version IMEI, and serial number. Cell information. Here you'll find signal strength details, band info, and cell tower connection data useful for optimizing location. Restart. Press this to reboot your router without unplugging it. Reset. Be careful, this will restore all settings to factory defaults. Only use this if you need a fresh start. One-click check. Runs a basic health scan to identify potential issues in your connection or settings. Diagnosis. Offers detailed troubleshooting tools for detecting internet problems. Modify password. Used to change your admin login password, highly recommended for security. PIN code management. If your SIM card is PIN protected, you can manage or unlock it here. Unlock device. If your unit is locked to a network, this option will attempt to unlock it if permitted. Time setting. Manually or automatically adjust your router's time and time zone settings. System setting. Includes advanced options. Scheduled restart lets you set automatic reboots for better performance. Auto update and online updates keep your firmware up to date. Reconnect reestablishes mobile data if disconnected. System logs show technical records for diagnostics. Developer options for advanced users, including debugging features and detailed logs. And that's the full system section designed to keep your Wi-Fi router running smoothly and securely. If you're curious, the name Miss Reviews actually stands for something meaningful to me. You can check out the story behind it in my channel description. Here on Miss Reviews, I share honest tech reviews, smart device tips, and real-world tests, all brought to you with the help of AI-generated voiceovers. If this video helped you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Your support keeps this channel going. See you next time.